Hey, welcome to Kaspa Daily Pulse. Here's what the Kaspa community's been buzzing about today. First up, vProgs were basically the main character in today's discussion. People weren't just hyping it, they were actually breaking down the why. The vibe was, developers follow economic incentives, not ideology. The pitch is that apps can run execution off-chain, post compact proofs or commitments on-chain, avoid per-user gas pain, reuse existing tooling, and skip any rent-seeking middle layers. But there was also a reality check. Even if vProgs go live, it doesn't automatically mean every top dev team teleports over overnight. So folks kept circling back to, how do we actively pull builders in? Second highlight, network security and hash rate worries popped up again, but it was a surprisingly grounded convo. Someone asked about 51% attack risk, and the response was basically, it's still a 9 figures plus logistics nightmare type of problem. There was a specific back and forth on current hash rate being roughly about 30% of max, with max referenced around 1.4 exahash, and an estimate that you'd need roughly about 500 petahash to source and host for an attack. And an interesting angle. Even in a worst case, some argued an attack wouldn't kill Kaspa. It could just accelerate a fork and potentially a shift toward a longer-term emission schedule.
Third, sentiment was mixed, leaning bruised. People talked about the slow bleed being mentally exhausting, retail being out, volume feeling weak, and the usual debate, miners selling, macro dragging everything, and whether market makers and HFT are pushing things around. But you still had the stubborn DCA crowd, plus one TA-style post claiming Kaspa's holding the low 4-cent zone with about a 1.1 billion market cap and roughly 25 to 30 million daily volume, and that 6 to 8 cents near-term looked plausible if liquidity shows up. Last quick note, macro and policy chatter slipped in too, including someone saying the Clarity Act got pushed to 2026, framed as bearish in the short term, and a broader risk assets might not rip like 2009 to 2021 kind of mood. That's it for today's Pulse. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Catch you then.